Hello, besties! Welcome to Martini with Eddie, your ultimate destination for everything Bravo. Join me as we spill the tea, dissect the drama, and uncork the juiciest gossip from your favorite reality TV shows. And it's been quite a week for Bravo. I mean, if you have been following Bravo World, it's been an insane amount of content that we have gotten this week alone. Obviously, beside the episode that we usually get, we also got the Beverly Hills trailer. We had the Miami trailer photos, cast photos. We got news. We have New Jersey filming two events this week. We also have obviously the Orange County reunion, and we'll be talking about all the stuff tonight because I couldn't do my 2 weeks, two episodes a week this week because I had some, fillers for BravoCon. As you can see, my jawline is really more defined now. And I want to say thank you to Bill Aiden for being so kind to, be there as his center when I got there and say hi. I want to address something real quick because I want to make sure that you guys get that it was not a freebie like most people are trying to say online. Um, if you go to my Twitter, somebody actually tried to say like, "Oh, that's how you got paid for posting stuff about Jennifer Aiden and stuff." I'm like, "No, you want me? I can post my statements. I actually did, and I'm not going to tolerate that type of conversation on my podcast and my Twitter account because first, if it was true, that's none of somebody's business, and two, I mean, I'm sorry that I can afford my own. I mean, I don't need a $500 gift card from Walmart to post about housework that I love and that I have loved for a very long time. So I just wanted to get that out of the way because I like to nip stuff in the butt or bot. We had a conversation in Salt Lake City. I'm still confused. Is it bot or bot? We'll figure it out. But anyways, this week we got many, many, many episodes, and I want to focus on like the main topics of each of them so we can have a nice conversation. Because, I mean, New York to start, it's having a crazy drama between Jessel and pretty much everybody else. I mean, Jessel and Aaron has been going on for a very long time. And I thought we got to the point where Jessel was going to like, have a moment for herself and be able to enjoy being a housewife. There's more housewives to have drama with, but it seemed like Jessel is the target. And surprisingly, Jessel has been coming on top on pretty much every single fight that she's been involved in. Now it's with Sai, right? I'm trying to understand why Sai feels like that Jessel wants to own one up on them, right? There is something that is called relating to somebody, not comparing your situation to them, but finding some points where you can relate to them so you can build friendship and build connections and through a bond with people, right? Most of the time when we first meet people, we're trying to find those places where we feel connected with either a struggle or a hobby or show that we watch. Like for example, us as bravoholics, pretty much our core of connection is Bravo shows, right? Nobody here is trying to be like, oh my gosh, I know this Bravo lab, so I'm better than you, or something like that. No, nobody cares about that in that level. We have to understand that we all watch these shows because we enjoy them, right? And we want to waste our time talking about people that might not even care about our opinion, right? The same thing happened in New York, and it's been happening for a while where if Jessel said anything, she's questioned so many times. The first time was because Jessel shared her family story and Erin felt like she was lying. Um, okay. So if Jessel doesn't share anything, she is quiet and forgettable. But if she opens up to them, she is trying to, I don't know, overshare and be better than everybody else. I'm not really sure, you guys. I hope you guys are paying attention to those little things, because I watched this show and I tried to analyze it as a reality TV show, but also as a human interaction, especially in New York, because it's a new cast, right? They just probably met before filming. Some of these ladies probably met while filming. So it's not strange to share part of your story to find a point of connection, right? The fact that Sai left the lunch that they were having halfway through it because she felt like Jessel was just coming with a new story, because of her, Sai's mother, you know, situation, right? She shared the story, fine. But wouldn't it be nice to simply say, you know what, I can relate to that too? Or, yes, that's it. That's all that Jesus trying to say. One of the moments on this episode that I loved, that it has nothing to do with Jessel, for a change, was to see Brent and Jenna Lyons at a gay club and see how super ally it's Brent to the gay community. She was freaking hysterical, trying to be Jenna Lyons like wing women. It was like the best of like the episode, because the dynamic between Jessel and between Brent and Jenna Lyons, it's to me so refreshing. A lot of people were criticizing Brent because she was kind of flirting with Jenna Lyons, and people are like, "Yeah, but you're straight. Don't flirt with a gay woman. You are, putting, feelings and stuff." But maybe, just maybe, they are close enough to allow those jokes to happen, right? Um, just because somebody is attracted to the same sex doesn't mean that it's attracted to everybody from from the same sex, right? It's like when straight guys said like, "Oh, don't talk to me," or don't say anything to me because you're gay and I'm straight. I'm like, sometimes people are not necessarily flirting with them, and in this case, it seems like Jenna and Brent have a very clear friendship, that boundary might not be something that is concerning for them, like the flirtation part or the just saying like kind of cute jokes to each other. I don't see the problem. Many people did. I honestly thought that was actually quite fun, and being able to have that friendship that they can feel comfortable around each other, knowing that nobody is catching feelings in the process, right? Also, I don't think Brent is necessarily Jenna Lyons type of girl. I saw Jenna with her fiance, right? I think she announced that she was engaged a couple of weeks ago. I saw them in Soho. I was shopping and I saw them passing by. I snapped a photo because you know what? I just like, hey, there's Jenna Lyons, but I didn't want to stop her and be like, Jenna, come take a picture with me, or because she is going on her day, right? But I kind of wanted to just catch the moment, and she was so. I mean, for what I can see, she was so loving um, with the person she was with, right? And it's definitely not like Brent. It's nothing like Brent. So, some people can simply flirt and be fine with it. The fact that Brent went to the gay bar and she was giving Janice, dating advices and trying to like play the wing woman, and setting her up with this other girl that it was actually beautiful. It was really cool. I honestly want Brent to have a dating show, because every time that she talks about relationship, even though she doesn't seem to be in one, her advices are quite good. I mean, if you watch that episode, Watch What Happened Live, when she gave 5 advices in how to have a successful relationship, I mean, to be honest, it's true. Like, whatever, everything she said was funny, but it was true. Also, I do believe that each relationship have the right to create their own rules, and we are going to talk about that because there was another scene with Abe, who is Aaron's husband. They were having a double date with Sai and Sai's husband, right? First of all, Abe made a really bold comment when Aaron said, like, what would you do if, your wife stopped having sex with you for more than a year or year and a half? And he said, like, I'll fuck somebody else. I'm like, I mean, that was a bold comment. And he didn't seem to be joking. I appreciate the honesty because a lot of guys will be like, "Oh, I'm here to support you. I'm here to this or whatever." Guys do not think with their heart. Guys think with their heart on. So, yes, it's true. It's the nature of being a man and also a woman. I mean, even Erin said that too. She's like, I can be in a relationship that is sexless 100%. She even said, like, bring the gays, bring the unicorns, bring whatever to spice their own marriage. And like I said before, every relationship has the right to do what is needed to make it work. A lot of the time, we have this idea that the only form of relationship is a monogamous relationship, right? That you have to be with the same person forever and everything needs to be perfect. And any fight is a problem. And any argument is the sign of the ending of a relationship. And that is not true. I mean, there is people who marry their best friends and they might not have the most exciting sex life, but they do have the best connection. They know that they are meant to be with each other because they complement their craziness, perhaps, right? And some other people are just sex driven and they have sex all the time and they need to have that release at all times. So they find ways to, like, hey, if you can satisfy me today, we are allowed to go and find that somewhere else. But that doesn't mean that you are cheating. It means that you understand it. You are mature enough that human nature is based on sexual desires, and that's completely fine. And like I said, what works for one group of people doesn't work for the other one, so we cannot expect that everybody is going to be okay with it. I quite understand Erin's point of view, and I happen to think that that is quite interesting to see a housewife openly talking about, what, we are not swingers, but we are open to three ways, and we are open to the idea of bringing the gays. Because that's what she said. Literally, that's what she said. She said, like, hey, I want to bring a guy, and preferably a gay man, because then, I mean, he's not really into me. He's like halfway, right? I don't know how that will work, though, at the end of the day. I don't know that many gay men who are turned on by a vagina, but I'm pretty sure she can find some. I mean, most men are attracted to boobs. Boobs, yes. Boobs men find gay men find attractive. Gay men want to play with the boobs. Most of the time you see gay men playing with her girlfriend's boobs all the time. That's like a norm. There is something about boobs that is more appealing to the eye. Vagina, I don't know. Not every man not every gay man is into that. So I don't know how Aaron's gonna find that. I mean, if maybe a bisexual guy or a guy who has more tendency to be gay, but can, that 30%, I'm okay with that. I actually have my experience with the lady pond, so I understand it. But once again, that's not for everybody. One thing that is definitely not for everybody, including myself, is the fact that we are having way too many healing events on housewife franchises. Like, I'm exhausted of these events. Like, come on, we need to come up with something new beside, like, bath sound thing, or the shaman, or or like the witch, or whatever. No, like, come on, like, we need something new. We saw this bath sound thing in Salt Lake City last season. We saw it in we saw the shaman in Miami, we saw the shaman in OC, we saw like come on, like let's find something different. I'm pretty sure there are other ways to find healing in your process. Also, all the stuff worked for like half an hour on the episode. Look what happened in Atlanta in the last season. That was a hot mess. That thing that thing that Drew was hosting. That lasted 5 minutes. There's no healing. Or what? No, like witness like healing. Like there's no healing in these freaking episodes. So let's pretend that that works. That doesn't work. That's just like a front for a business. Because I'm pretty sure the sound bath business bloomed and boomed with franchises, showcasing them on every freaking every freaking city, right? I just really want to get to the point where Jessel can take a break from everybody. I think Jessel has worked so hard for her position, and everybody else is using her for anything at this point. I'm surprised though, because when I first started watching New York, I was not expecting to be a Jessel fan. I thought Jessel was going to be that girl who was right in the middle, not involved, just kind of like shady in the confessionals and a little like out of touch with reality sometimes with her comments. I thought that's what I thought Jessel was going to be. But no, she has surprised pretty much all of us by being a fan favorite and being somebody who can stand on her own ground and just go with it. Look what happened at the beginning. Everybody was so invested with the whole thing that Jessel didn't have sex for like 2 years. Now that allegedly she had sex that night with Pavet, um, then they don't believe her. And like, who are we to like question that? Like Sai questioning the fact that she might or might not have had sex with her husband on that like staycation that they had. That's nobody's business. If she told you that, just like say yes and move on. Like let's not question everything. I mean, if it's true that they had sex and it was the first time after a few years, after like 2 years or a year and a half, it probably was so fucking good because I'm pretty sure the energy was built up from having kids. And that's another stuff that I want to say. I do believe that some women take more time to feel comfortable in their bodies after having children. She carried twins. That belly probably was ginormous, and I don't know if she had a C-section, but if she pushed out two babies out of her vagina, I'm pretty sure she needed a couple of months to recover down there. So, I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't have a vagina, so I can say for a fact that that's what happened. But what I'm saying is it's a labor of love and a labor of labor. That's why you call going into labor. So I always kind of like question when people feels entitled to judge other women when it comes to having sex after having kids. I mean, if it took Jessel a year and a half to feel comfortable with herself, that's her prerogative. So when Sai questioned the veracity of her having sex or not, that kind of like make me not like her much. And I like Sai. I like her sense of fashion. I think she is messy enough for the show. Some people are saying that she is unnecessary for the show. I'm gonna say no. It's not true, because a big part of the arguments and a big part of the drama this season, Sai has been involved. Maybe not on the right side of the argument, but she's been part of the argument. For our first season cast, somebody needed to do that job, and she's doing it pretty well. The only problem is that maybe her delivery it's coming off as obnoxious at times. Maybe it's just her New Yorker vibe. We forget that she's a New Yorker, and she doesn't sugarcoat anything. And some of these ladies are implants, you know. So the vibe is different when you are from an area to another one. Like for example, I always said this because people don't understand how easily I can go from zero to Jersey. I grew up here, and in Jersey, and I identify with people being more vocal and loud and obnoxious and making a point and sometimes getting a little physical. Like when people say, "Oh, Jersey, the housewives of New Jersey are always loud and screaming and tossing things and cussing each other out and cussing all the time." I'm like, yeah, because that's how we talk in Jersey. That's why I like that franchise, because I see myself in it. So when I see Sai, the way that she reacts, a lot of her reactions come from her upbringing too, you know. So it could, maybe it's not translating right, but I don't think that she is that bad for housewife like most people want her to be, or like putting her like in a place where she's like, oh, this like unnecessary character for the show. Am I like a big fan of Psy? No. uh I'm more of a Jenna Lyons, Brent, and Jessel fan. But do I appreciate what Sai brings to the table? Yes. And the best part about this franchise is, unlike other franchises, I can like everybody for different reasons. More than others, yes. But do I like Erin? Yes. Erin is sweet in person. I mean, and she's also a necessary for the show because her like dramatics are needed for a good reality TV. So sometimes we forget that a lot of these ladies are cast for a reason. Maybe not a reason that we like, maybe not the reason that we like, but a reason. Whew. One thing that I'm excited about when it comes to the new housewives of New York is that I'm excited to meet them at BravoCon. I'm gonna mention real quick that Jessel is she was at Watch What Happened Live the other day, and Andy revealed categories um for the Bravos, which I'm going to, right? And Jessel was nominated for one of them. She's nominated for who said who said that category or something like that. Who said that award? She's nominated with Candace, with Meredith, with James Kennedy. I think it's amazing that even in one season she already is nominated like against people who has been on the show for many years. Lisa Barlow is nominated too. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. That the ladies are getting the recognition even with a one season, and BravoCon is gonna be so epic. It's gonna be so epic. Yesterday, the tickets for the Bravo After Dark, which is a party for the VIP holders, um, were released, and I got one. So I'm gonna be partying all weekend long in Vegas, and with that come a lot of content. So um, yeah, be ready for that. Talking about people who are going to be at BravoCon, but I don't know if they're gonna be having a panel. It's Salt Lake City. For what I heard, Salt Lake City is filming the reunion um, right after BravoCon. So Bravo is trying to keep all the juice and the drama packed for the reunion because this season has been really dramatic. We are just at the beginning of the season, and gosh, the drama and the gossip that has been happening in Salt Lake City is intense. I'm quite sad that I didn't see Mary Cosby on the lineup for BravoCon. I think Mary Cosby is much needed on Salt Lake City. Am I her biggest fan? No. She blocked me on Twitter for no goddamn reason. I'm still pissed off about it because I had never tweeted anything like mega negative about Mary Cosby. You guys want to know why she blocked me? Was because when the taglines from that season where she said like Jesus is coming for you or whatever, like if you come for me, I'll send Jesus for you. All I said was that sounded like a Marvel superhero tagline. Like her like superhero power is sending Jesus after you, and she blocked me for that shit. So I'm like, Mary, please, it wasn't that serious. So if anyone is listening here and you have Mary Cosby on your following you, or you have any communication with Mary Cosby, just tell her to unblock me on Twitter because I haven't posted anything negative. I actually been praising her comeback to the show. For example, on this last episode, she was giving Heather unwelcome and unsolicited fashion, tips in a very Mary Cosby way. Also, also then she decided to say like, oh, I'm like overdressed to be here and people are yelling, please get me out of here. In her confession, she was saying that. I love Mary. i mean she has issues with Whitney. I like Whitney too. The only person that I still can't relate to whatsoever is Heather. Still to this day, I liked her like a few episodes in the first season, and we used to talk on Twitter. She used to follow me on Twitter, you know, uh, but she don't follow me because I made fun of her choir. And also, I'm like, I don't have any problem. This is the thing. People think that because some housewife or Bravo Lab follow me, I don't talk about their issues on the show. That's not 100% true. And Heather is that perfect example. She was following me, and I can tell she was watching my stories and she was watching my tweets because I saw reactions and I saw comments, from her accounts. So she didn't block me altogether, but she unfollowed me during the choir because I felt like it was such a bullshit storyline. It is true. It was a bullshit storyline. Um, and I keep forgetting that she's part of the show. Honestly, I always forget that she's in it. There's nothing like to this day. I still feel like there is nothing iconic or remarkable of Heather beside the black eye that she tried to like brush under the rug and make it seem like this weird mystery, which was very bizarre. One person who's making definitely a big splash this season is newbie Monica. She is been going after Lisa Barlow way too hard at times. And I appreciate the fact that she talks about not being financially in the same position as the other ladies, but the way that she's approaching it seems so forced. Seems like she's trying to relate to the viewers more than trying to tell her story. That's how I feel. I can be wrong. This is an opinion, right? I like Monica's energy. Don't get me wrong. I like what she brings. I like the fact that she's Colombian. You know, I have a 25% Colombian DNA in my body. So my 25% Colombian side appreciates that. The other 75% is 100% Spaniard. So I kind of relate more to the Spaniard side of my family, but I love the richness of the Colombian culture. So I can 25% relate to Monica. But there is some delivery done this season about the fact that, oh, Lisa Barlow is so materialistic. Oh, Lisa Barlow is talking about brands. Lisa Barlow is, flashing her wealth. And I'm like, girl, you sign up for a show about that. You sign up for it. And even though the viewers might feel related to you, because viewers might feel like it's hard to relate to like the Lisa Barlows of the world because you might not have a $60,000 ring or you don't fly private jet to like Europe and whatever, and that's completely fine. But when we turn on the TV to watch Housewives, we gonna see this as an escapism of reality. We don't see this as like this is. We don't see the reality TV as reality, correct? So yes, you wanna relate to them in some level, but when the housewife is trying so hard to say like I'm broke all the time, doesn't seem like it's 100% honest. It doesn't seem like come from a place of like, yes, I'm broke and I'm really fighting hard for my life. If you have enough money to purchase a $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag because you want it to fit in. And that's another part of the conversation. We forget that she was crying a couple of episodes ago about trying to fit in with women who are wealthy, right? And I posted it on my on my Twitter saying this is why a lot of housewives go broke, because they live above their means. And might not be the case of Monica, but if you are able to afford a $5,000 handbag, you might be better than a lot of people in America, right? I agree, Aaron. I mean, I'm gonna read this because there is a truth behind this comment. Aaron said, Monica coming into this not feeling like an equal to this lady, and my opinion is she is trying to make them see her as equal, even if it's just in her mind that they aren't equal. I mean, there is some truth behind that comment, right? I do believe the struggle of trying to fit in, it's what is making Monica kind of like not 100% that newbie that you expected her to be. That's just my opinion too. Another part that I'm kind of like shocked is the fact that she decided to talk to Whitney about a gossip that she heard about NGK's husband. And I said this before, I said it many times. I'm not very supportive of people trying to paint somebody as gay, like Kyle Richards. When the Kyle Richards and Morgan stuff came out, a lot of people use that as like a clickbait. A lot of people weaponize sexuality against Kyle Richards. And don't get me wrong, when Kyle Richards did it to Denise and Lisa Rinna did it to Denise, I was very vocal. First of all, I'm a huge Denise Richards fan, which we'll be talking about it when I get to the Beverly Hills segment, because she's back and we saw the trailer and I'm excited. I hate when people try to paint somebody being, attracted to their same sex as some kind of weapon. What happened on Atlanta with Marlo? I've been saying it from the beginning of the whole rumor with Drew having like a relationship with a woman. If Drew said, I'm not in a relationship with this woman, that's all we need to take for. It's not our business to push people out of the closet. And the fact that Monica brought up on camera the rumor about NGK's husband is to have sex with other men, I was like, here we go again. Is this even necessary? No. And Whitney took the opportunity to let NGK know. I have a feeling, this is just my personal feeling, that Whitney let NG know what she heard from Monica before the party. At least Lisa Barlow's, party, like Aspen or whatever thing that she was doing. I think that because NGK's reaction to when she heard what Monica has to say and the way that she heard that from Meredith, I have a feeling that Whitney's, she likes NGK. She is not very friendly with Meredith. She used this information that she got from Monica, let NGK know before filming, and they went into it trying to make sure to confront money to confront Meredith right on the spot because um, even if it's not the point, that's not the point. Whitney immediately said, "You know what? We need to tell NGK she's here. Let's call her over. Let's not gossip about this anymore, and let her know what other people are talking about her marriage." Right? Then NGK was obviously upset, but NGK seemed prepared for it. Her reaction wasn't like, "Oh my gosh, no." She was like, "Oh no." So it didn't sound surprised. There was no surprise tone in her voice. Or maybe it's just the monotone that she has as a voice. But I'll be surprised that is that the case because she wasn't watching What Happened Live, and girl has different voices. Girl has like feel like emotions in her voice. She's not like a monotone person. She's not like Meredith. Meredith has like a very monotone version. She goes from British accent to American accent to like Xanax accent, but she has like a very monotone voice. You only sense a little anger when she raises her voice. But beside that, like happy Meredith, sad Meredith, angry Meredith, they all sound the same, right? But NGK was on Watch What Happened Live, and she was very excited. She had emotion in her voice. So that's why I started to think maybe she was prepared for that conversation, and the way she was prepared was because Whitney let her know beforehand. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm being clear because I've been thinking about this since I watched the episode the other night, and I'm like, I want to share this to my podcast because I want to know people's opinion. Definitely a very interesting season, and I'm happy that Salt Lake City is having a comeback because last season was a disaster. More than a disaster, was terrible. I am going to share with you guys my opinion on the Beverly Hills trailer. Now that we kind of mention it, with Denise, I'm happy. A lot of people seems to be confused by it, but one thing that I can say about the Diamonds in Beverly Hills is that they do not disappoint. They still a very strong franchise. And I'm sorry guys, I do like the cast photos. I do like the whole like Beverly Hills hotel vibe, the whole like, palm wallpaper, the checkerboard flooring is pink. It's beautiful. I love these cast photos. I love the group photo too. People are trashing it, saying that it's like low budget. I'm like, no, this is way better than that horrible silver photo that we got last year. That was a disaster. Last year was so low budget that like the Photoshop was not even photoshopping enough. This season, yes, I'm invested. I think that the richness and the wealth of Beverly Hills is back. Maybe it's because it's a season where they are moving forward from Erica Jane's legal battles. It might not be the center of the conversation anymore. Obviously, she's still dealing with her problems, and with her $7 Vegas residency, which, by the way, I think is freaking hysterical how life works. She made this snarky comment against Denise Richards, saying, "Oh, do you know that you can get a $7 Denise Richards bundle on her OnlyFans?" I'm like, she's making millions on OnlyFans. You're making probably like not even a quarter of what she's making by dancing around in leotards, lip syncing to cheap ass songs. So I didn't like that comment because once again they try to sex shame Denise. this happened on when she came the first time on the show. They're trying to use that again against her. And the funniest part is isn't Erica Jane a whole persona created by Erica Girardi to express her sexuality and be sexually open and be like sex positive and like pat the puss and like do the whole whatever. And then she has like this like very judgy side against people who have OnlyFans. Like I don't understand it. Like, do I have one? No. Will I be able to create one? No. I don't have that personality. I mean, I'm very comfortable with myself. I'm very comfortable with my body, with my sexuality. I'm very sex positive. I'm very like outspoken about sex. I'm not shy. That's the whole point. But do I see myself having an OnlyFans? No, I don't have that in myself. But if Denise Richard is doing it and making money of it, or if anyone is doing it and making money out of it, props to them and kudos. Because I wish I would do that just from home, and I don't have to like work or anything. Just like film this like videos of doing whatever, right? Who am I to judge how people make their money? So I was surprised that the one making these comments was Erica Jane, because out of all the people, she was supposed to be the sex positive one. When she came on the show, remember when she came on the show, everybody was making fun of her. Remember that even Lisa Rinna was making fun of her music video. What's it called? Not the expensive. The one before that was quite not good. Painkiller, I think it was called. So I don't understand her reaction. This like I'm better than you because you have an OnlyFans, and you getting stuff for $7. I'm like, guess what? Your Vegas residency, quote unquote, because I don't think that's what a Vegas residency is all about. It's sold for $7 online. And to be honest, I'm gonna be honest to you guys. I would rather pay $7 to see Denise Richards taking a shower than paying $7 to see Erica Jane patting the puss on a stage. Period.com. The trailer though focus a lot on Kyle Richards' newfound, I don't know, love for Morgan, or the fact that maybe her marriage is falling apart. Everybody's questioning it. Sutton is obviously the one doing the work. No matter what you say, people, no matter what you say, if Sutton wasn't asking the questions, we will not have anything to talk about. Because the reason why we talk about Erica Jane's legal issues for 2 seasons was because Miss Sutton asked the good question, like the deep questions, right? And obviously we also had Garcelle doing the same thing too. I love that about them. They are not afraid to ask questions. They are not creating the drama. They are not trying to push a storyline on other people like Lisa Rinna used to do. Like she forced people out of the show because she was so evil in her way of like producing. But we have people like Garcelle and Sutton who are smart, who know how to ask questions, who are not your typical housewife of Beverly Hills. They're not like quiet and proper. No, they are smart. They are business women, and they are gonna ask questions, right? So I see a lot of like Sutton asking about Kyle's marriage on the trailer. I think Crystal finally found her voice because newbie Anne Marie is going after her, and I'm gonna say it, I'm pre-standing Crystal, because the reason why I think this woman Anne Marie is so adamant to say that she gave her something to talk about was because I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Emery has very questionable uh, ideas and opinions. Very questionable, very transphobic, very homophobic. So I do believe that that's the reason why she said those things, because Crystal is she been asking the questions too. At the beginning she had a moment with Sutton, and they finally got to like a good place. They spoke about it and the misunderstanding, and Sutton was like, "Hey, I grew up in a different time, and I'm learning, and I want to make sure that I'm good." And it seems like the conversation between them actually was honest, because Crystal was trying to move on from that, even though we saw some bumps on the road last season. But they've been really close. They hang out like outside the filming. They go to like baseball games. They both like baseball, so they found a good friendship. But I don't know how that's gonna work this season with Emery. If you look for her and her husband, you will find really disgusting comments against trans kids, and that Gabrielle Union has a trans child, and they were making comments about them, and it was disgusting, right? So I believe that Crystal bring this up on the show, and she confronts Emery about these opinions, and I hope the Crystal mop the floor with her, because I do not support anyone with obvious homophobic and transphobic behavior like that. It's a very close to home topic, right? It's like Danielle Cabral between you and me, you guys. I've been following some posts that people are finding on Danielle Cabral's Facebook. At the beginning was like about Blue Lives Matter, and very kind of racist comments. I'm surprised that they haven't blown up as much as like Jenny from Salt Lake City. Um, but the other day I saw somebody posting a screenshot of Danielle Cabral's Facebook making a casually homophobic comment. I don't know. They were talking about somebody. I think he was like a football player or like a baseball player, and like, oh, he has to be gay. He's so fruity. He's like a fruity pebbles. That type of commentary, you guys, it's casual homophobia. I don't care if you put a no hate sticker on your face, or you pretend to be, an ally. If you had that mentality, that means that you think, that being gay it's being a weak man. Oh, he's gay. He must be a fruity pebble. He's a fruity pebble. That type of commentary is low key homophobic, and that's how many gay men are bullied in high school. Many is pretty much all of us once got called a fruity pebble or a fruit cake or something like that, because people think that being gay is a sign of weakness, of being like, fruity or something like that. So I've been following this story though, because I don't want to accuse somebody of something just based on a screenshot, but I'm gonna do my Nancy Drew, investigation, and like Sutton does, I'm gonna ask all the questions. So watch my spaces on that. I'm excited for Beverly Hills. I do believe that it has the potential to be a great season. Many people were doubting if it's gonna be good, but I believe that it's going to be great, because we have little to nothing leaked while they were filming, right? They are talking a little bit more now because they're getting close to the premiere, and I'm happy they moved the premiere to October 25th from November 1st, because I'm flying to Vegas on November 1st, and I'm watching Um, I'm watching Katy Perry that night, so I was gonna miss the premiere, but now I'm gonna be able to watch the premiere live. So I'm excited because, as you guys know, Beverly Hills is my core franchise. It's my favorite franchise. It's what cemented my love for Bravo, and I'm very excited to have them back on Wednesday night. One franchise that is gonna be back on a Wednesday night too, you guys. It's Miami. I'm not happy about this though. I'm not happy because that is setting Miami for failure. I don't know why Bravo think that some franchises need another one to get the viewers to watch it. I think that's a really bad strategy when it comes to a franchise that is already a staple. I was not happy when Miami was moved from Peacock to Bravo. I do not think that that is a good move because if it doesn't do good on Bravo, it's gonna hurt the production value. Watch it happen. Now they decided to put Miami after Beverly Hills every Wednesday. It's premiering November 1st. Yes, because Potomac premieres on Sunday, November 5th. So yes, and my opinion on it is like most people get tired after watching one main show. If it's like watching like usually like main franchises should have like a follow up optional show. Like for example, Southern Charm. I love Southern Charm, and it's a show that can stand on their own, right? Um, but if they move it to like a Wednesday to be after Beverly Hills, I think it will be just as fine of having it on Thursday at 9 p.m. Because people who watch Southern Charm is gonna tune in to watch Southern Charm. It still airs at 9 p.m. on Thursdays, right? I personally believe the main franchises like Real Housewives, any housewife shouldn't be a follow up. Look what is happening with New York. They thought that it was necessary to put New York after Atlanta to drive the viewers from Atlanta to watch New York. We were all exhausted after watching Atlanta. Most people turn it off and watch New York the next day on Peacock. Right? I watch all the shows no matter what because for me it's entertaining and obviously I enjoy live tweeting. It's like that's my favorite thing to do on this Bravo universe. I mean, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you're missing out half of the fun of Martini with Eddie. But to be honest, I'm not happy with the decision, and especially after watching such an amazing trailer. That trailer was magical. Like I'm excited because I know the ladies from Miami are gonna bring the fire. I mean, we see fights like Kiki and Lisa that I was not expecting. We see a fight between Lisa and Alexia. Alexia maybe having to move out of her apartment because she's having financial issues. We see Gertie talking about her battle with cancer very openly. We saw that moment when she removed her wig and she started crying and stuff like that. I mean, it's so good. Every second of it, it was a dramatic moment. And I'm excited for Miami, but I'm concerned that people are going to be exhausted after watching Beverly Hills. And they're going to turn it off and be like, oh, I just watch Miami tomorrow. Bravo needs to give each and one of their main crown jewels their own day. Just give them their own day. Put it on Thursdays. Put it on Tuesdays. Put it on Mondays. Don't put it on Friday. That's a bad idea. But, I mean, if you have put it on Thursday. Put Miami on Thursday, and then you can watch Southern Charm if you want to at 9 p.m. There you go. Problem solved. Because it's gonna premiere at the same time with Beverly Hills, and then we're gonna be like tired, and then it's gonna burn us real quick because they're gonna start together and end together the same days, pretty much. We're gonna be watching two reunions at the same time, and that seems exhausting. Like the same day, like not different days, the same day. Um, but yeah, the trailer is amazing. There is a lot of drama. Kiki is activated. There is drama with everybody. There is drama. Dr. Nicole with Alexia. I mean, they've been having issues since last season, and it seems like it's gonna bleed into this one, and it's going to be like major. It does have a lot of drama. So yes, that is good. Drama is good, but I hope there's also a lot of fun. I love the part when they go to Mexico to celebrate Pride in Mexico and Adriana perform Fire. I'm also excited that we might see her new we might listen to her new song with Emilio Estefan because they filmed something for the show where she performed a new song, and it was so good. Like at least what you could hear in the background was so good. So I just cannot wait for it. Um, I'm going to read this. Mia said it's overwhelming. I miss when they used to pair Below Deck in a housewife or a real estate show, and a housewife is a nice balance. Like a Vanderpump and a housewife was just enough drama. Exactly. That's exactly what I said. Like you just said it. Below Deck, real estate show what's it called? $1 million listing shows, or like, you know, the Southern Charms, or like Summer House or Winter House. Uh, Vanderpump Rules at one point was like a secondary show, right? Obviously, Vanderpump Rules became so big on its own that, and this is way before the scandal, Vanderpump Rules became a crown jewel of Bravo real quick on their own because they were just a spin-off of Beverly Hills. They were just like a show that you watch after Beverly Hills if you wanted to watch it. But it became a show that people wanted to watch all the time because it was different at the time. When it first came out, it was all housewife shows and Vanderpump Rules. That was pretty much just really poor waitress and waiters and waitresses trying to make a living in Beverly Hills, and trying to become actors and whatever, which 90% of them didn't even make it. They became all reality TV stars and they all made business out of it, which is good. But the premise of the show was just waiters and waitresses trying to make a living so they could afford to go to like castings and whatever, right? And I think that's why it became like a big show, because people could like kind of like relate to it while watching The Housewife that were just like mind blowing nonsense. Aaron, have a great night. I see your message and you're heading to bed. Yes, that's right. I want to share this. Erin just said she's heading to bed. It was a great live. Can't wait to listen to the rest tomorrow on the podcast. Love that I can listen to it the next day on Apple. Yes. For those who are listening, if you got here late, or you just don't want to listen to the whole thing right now, because I have a lot to say, because like I said before, I this is a supersized episode because obviously my face was a little sore after getting fillers on Wednesday. So like talking was a little like, not, it was not like painful, but I mean, you don't want to talk a lot when you had needles over your jaw. But that's beside the point. I'm happy to be doing this because you know that I appreciate you guys so much. I mean, I love looking at the live chat here and I see all the conversation that the people that are joining me right now and watching the show live with me, and they leave all their comments and I can read them, and I just enjoy doing that, because this is the magic about doing a live podcast, that you can, you know, like, you know, have this type of conversation and have this moment of like interaction with people who always come here and share their opinion. I love that. And thank you so much for always being supportive. I appreciate it so much. Talking about Beverly Hills real quick. I heard that um, Erica Jane is getting a spin-off, and I am shocked because I don't know why. It's supposed to be about her residency in Vegas, the process of getting it, the process of like training for it or like whatever. I mean, good for her. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna talk shit about her because I have done that for a very long time, and I will definitely probably gonna be doing it this season too. But for her fans, good for them because I hope she has enough fans to carry a show. I mean, am I gonna watch it? Maybe on Peacock the next day. Orange County. Orange County was interesting, you guys. I am going to say that I'm happy that it's only 2 episodes, though. I think we need to normalize that. I think Bravo needs to realize that reunion with more than 2 episodes are just way too long and dragged because we always get a full episode of like dumb ass questions like Mary from Alabama is asking Tamra, what type of shoes are you wearing right now? Like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care what Tamra has to say about her shoes or her hair or whatever or what plastic surgeries they got. Because to be honest, I support plastic surgery, but I do not care to know what procedures they got to look the way that they do. Like, because Andy is always way too involved with the ladies, physical transformations. And at the beginning, when he first started like asking those questions, was very cringy because he'd be like, "So, what's plastic surgery do you do or whatever?" Remember, like back in the day, and he felt quite invasive. Like now he does like a little more subtle, I like you before, but tell me what you did now. Like he keeps saying that to Emily, and I'm like, dude, you had said this so many times that it's sounding so disingenuous when he says that. Like, oh, I like you before, Emily, but you look beautiful now. What are you doing? Like, just simply ask, like, what's your regimen, and that's it. Period. Um, One thing that I'm very happy about this reunion is the fact that Heather Dubrow is not backing down. She has been very clear about the accusations that she got the whole entire season, and she's clearing them up on the reunion. For example, Tamra think that she spoke to Andy to stop her from coming back to the show. And Heather said, you know what? I'm a minuscule, like a little piece of this machine. And when I have the opportunity to talk to Andy for the 5 minutes that I have, I'm not going to talk about you, Tamra. And even Andy said, like, you know what, Tamra, is true. I just want to tell you that Heather never said anything about that. So even Andy asked Heather, like, how do you feel coming into the reunion? She said, like, vindicated. And it's true. A lot of people out there who were not Heather Dubrow fans became Heather Dubrow fans this season because they saw how weirdly calculated this whole takedown on her was. It was so obvious that it was planned. It was too obvious that no matter what she said, it was gonna be twisted in a way that it was gonna be this big of a deal. But then you have people like Tamra, who truly trashes people on her podcast, on the media, on her social medias. She gets like a free pass because either people are really pissed off, and people are really scared of piss her off, or people want to be friends with her so badly that they would just let her step on them. Like Emily, for example. She's like, I'm so mad at Heather because Heather said this about me. But yet, she wants to be friends with Tamra, who was calling her name on her podcast, who was calling her name in every other podcast. And she even said, like, I think Andy asked a question when somebody said, like, why you want to be friends with Tamra because she was so nasty to you on the press. And her answer sounded like a dog with their tail between their legs, and like, I mean, my main goal is that I want to be friends with Tamra. I'm like, so what's the problem with Heather, who's your real friend? Heather is your real friend. That is, I still don't understand it. And that's why I never understood during this season what was the problem that everyone had with Heather. Um, Another problem that was also very highlighted during this reunion was Tamra versus Jennifer. Jennifer, for a first time housewife, she's doing really good during this reunion because she came prepared. First, Andy shared with everybody that they invited Ryan to be part of the reunion to tell his side. And she said, like, Ryan said no, because if he came on here and Tanra went after him, he was going to react and, and say something. And he would be an asshole for doing so, for talking to a woman in some kind of way. And it's true. It is very true, because we had seen it happening on, New Jersey, for example. When Louis was invited last season to be on the panel, like on the reunion stage with all the husbands, everyone was going after him. And if he said something back, even if he was in a nice way, he was being called all type of names by people on Twitter. They still calling him like the Red Devil. The people calling him some kind of names and all this stuff. No matter what the guy does, he's always going to be targeted as like this evil person. Yet we have real evil people on that stage. Real people that are not nice, like Joe Gorga, and people give them a pass. So I think it was very smart for Ryan to be like, I'm gonna stay home, and that's not my problem. That's your problem, Jen, to make sure that you know how to defend yourself to people from people like Tamra. Because Tamra is not afraid to really go low, like very low. You know what's really funny is that she's trying to paint Jen as a cheater, and even Jen herself came back with a knockout. She said, when you met Eddie, you were with Simon. And when she said that, the conversation changed immediately, because Tanra realized that Jen had the receipt. That's what, when the moment that Jen said that, Tamra was like, I was not mad at you for cheating. I'm just like, didn't know what to say. Her tongue tangled and her tone changed because she was exposed for being a hypocritical person. That night, this photo of Eddie with Simon and Tamra started to roll around. A picture that shows Tamra with him in a very cozy position with Simon next to them. Because from my understanding, Simon and Eddie either have businesses, or they were working on in the same, type of line of work or whatever. And that's how she met him. And that's how she cheated and left her husband. She even said it, I left my husband. That was exactly what Jen did. She met Ryan and left her husband because she found somebody who she felt was more fulfilling for herself. So Jen clocked Tamra. She clocked her. And I'm happy for her to do that, because it was time for somebody to put her in her place. And it wasn't even in an aggressive way. Yeah, she said like, you're a fucking piece of shit of friend and all the stuff. But Tamra was doing the most, and Jennifer was being very precise with her words, and she came on top. Somebody who surprisingly came on top, that I was not expecting it, was Gina. Gina and Shannon's argument, you guys, was bizarre, crazy. And I'm saying this because one thing is trying to act like you didn't say something because you said it in a very quiet place that nobody was watching, but you still are acting like, oh, I didn't say that. I don't remember it. But when it's on camera, for for people to watch, for people across the country and the world to watch, and you still act like you didn't say it, it just doesn't make any sense. Shannon has no sense of accountability, no sense of like, like I said this and I'm gonna apologize because I spoke about your children on a very public place during a dinner. Well, while people were like, "Why are we even talking about this? Like, who cares? It's not your place to say this." And Gina wasn't there to defend herself. You know. So I agree. Mia Carter said, "I respect Jen for not staying in a loveless situation, and her children seem well rounded. Tanra's kids show their toxicity 100%. That is that part right there. Tanra has a extremely very toxic son, extremely homophobic, like really freaking weird on social media. Um, and it seems like, God forbid, if anyone mentioned that on camera, she brings this freaking guy to her party or whatever in the first few episodes. Not even one conversation about his very problematic comments on social media. Not even once. But yet she's here trying to, ruin somebody else's relationship when she can even take care of her own house. Like, clean your own house before you judge how other people deal with their own in their own home. Like, that's what I say. Like, why are you so involved in people's relationship when you have a huge skeleton in your closet that you might be taking out and dusted in the sun so it kind of airs the problems? You know, I that's the part that I don't get. Like, Tamra has way too many skeletons in the closet for her to be acting like she can go around and judge other people's relationship, right? Same with Shannon. I mean, Shannon, I am just so disappointed with her because I never been like a Shannon fan. I never been like super fan of her, but I can appreciate what she brings to the show. I like her quirkiness and her weird behavior sometimes, and the way that she breaks the fourth wall every time that she feels cornered. I mean, she has little things that are like annoying, like stop stop stopping production just because they're talking about something that you don't like. But I appreciate her, right? But this season is unbearable. She's annoying, obnoxious, and so out of touch with the way that she spoke about Gina and her kids, right? Also, I'm very annoyed with her look. Like, she looks like she's cosplaying as Erica Jane, and I cannot stop looking at her and being like, oh my gosh. She's about to start lip syncing to Expensive to Be Me any second because she looks just um like somebody cosplaying as Erica Jane. Gosh. Um I'm just looking forward to see what happens next week. It seems like next week is gonna be heavily focused on Heather Dubrow. That's when everybody seems to be coming after her, and I just want to make sure that she's fine because she did a great job defending herself. Newsflash: if you're watching The Masked Singer, you probably know that the diver was Tom Sandoval. And not a shocker, I kind of got that from the beginning. And the fact that this guy can even win a competition that is supposed to be a singing competition, uh, when his whole entire personality right now is like being a karaoke singer, I just don't get it. This guy is like, no. On the other hand, we have Ariana killing it on Dancing with the Stars. She's my queen of the ballroom. She's been killing it week after week. Week number 2 was Latin Night. She did great. I'm just happy that Jamie Lynn Spears is out of the show because, girl, I can't stand Jamie Lynn. Jamie Lynn is another one that, what a disappointment. Let's talk about real quick about New Jersey. New Jersey, it's filming, still filming. This week we had 2 groups events, 2 cast events. We had, what's her name? Melissa Gorga's fashion show, and we had Teresa's live podcast last night for Namaste Bitches. And I just want to say one thing. I'm not going to go into details because I think a lot of people out there are already making podcasts about the whole thing and all this stuff. And I kind of want to wait a little more until we get closer to the premiere of New Jersey to like really dive into all the drama and make sure that we are prepared for the season. But I can tell you one thing. I watched both, shows. Film on like clips and whatnot. I didn't go. I was supposed to go to Teresa's last night to Namaste Bitches live, but because I had some scheduling issues, I couldn't go, and I'm really sad about it. But I kind of lived through like people like Jack from Real Housewives of New Jersey Obsessed. He was posting a lot, and then my dear friend Gabriela was also posting. So I got all my tea from them, like reading their tweets and stuff. When it comes to the Melissa Gorga runway show, I didn't understand why she walked and did the bow wow at the end. Like like when you go to a fashion show, the designer at the end comes out and thanks the audience and do the bow down and do the whole thing, because that's their work. That's what they spend weeks and months and year and a whole year sometimes to prepare for a runway. That's like their kids. When designers release a new collection, it's like their baby. So that's like their moment of glory. The only work that Melissa has done is probably go to Amazon to get the pieces into her store. She's not designing anything. She's not a designer, right? So when she came out at the end, like trying to take like some kind of like moment, I was like, what? What is happening right now? Like last time I checked, you're not a designer. It doesn't make sense. And this is not coming from a place like, oh, I don't like Melissa Gorga, because I do not like her, period. But even if he was like some random person walking a runway at the end for clothing that is not yours, that you purchased to sell in your little boutique, is weird. Doesn't make sense. Like, okay, have a fashion show to showcase the product that you sell at your store, and then at the end you have a reception and you socialize with people. Yes, but walking the runway makes no fucking sense. I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense. I don't care who you are, but if you didn't design the clothing, don't do it. It looks weird. On the other hand, we have Teresa's live podcast event last night in New Jersey. It was literally less than an hour. It was online, like an hour and a half away from where I live. So I wanted to go, and I saw that they had like these buses. They had like a bus where people kind of like went together to the location. Jennifer actually left. I don't know if she went on a bus to the place, but she left from the place in a bus. So now I kind of wish I went so I could have taken the bus with all of them. That would have been so much fun. But I'm sad that, life is lifing right now for me, and I needed to take care of stuff. And also I'm going to BravoCon in less than a month, so I'm sure I can see them there, or if Namaste Bitches has another like live show either here in Jersey, nearby me, or in New York City, which is like 5 minutes away from my house, I will definitely go. Um, but based on the videos and the photo that I saw, Jackie, Jen Fessler, Dolores, and obviously Teresa's bestie Jennifer Aiden were present at the show. They were very excited. Even Jackie threw a job at Melissa Gorga because on her post on Twitter, on Instagram, Jackie posted a photo of Dolores, um, Jen Fessler, Jennifer Aiden, and herself with the caption saying, "Now that's a front row. Ready for Namaste Bitches Live." If that's not a job at Melissa Gorga's front row at her in like designing whatever fashion show, I don't know what that is. Also present was Dorinda. Dorinda made a cameo. I hope she is also like part of the franchise, because we are seeing a lot of housewives making crossovers. Like we saw on the trailer for Beverly Hills, we saw Cynthia, we saw Denise Richards, we saw Camille making a cameo too. But Cynthia from Atlanta made her way to Beverly Hills. So I hope that we are gonna see more and more of this housewife making little special appearances on other franchises. Uh oh, okay. Mia Carla said they said New York City and Poconos, which will rock. I wish they will do a show at Crystal Spring Resort. This way people can spot and show. Yeah, I if it's in New York City, trust me, I'll that's not a problem. I'll probably go in a heartbeat. So yeah, I'm going to BravoCon next month, and that's what I'm like focused on right now. Like literally, my life is like BravoCon 24/7, getting clothing, getting everything ready. So yeah, it's a full time job to go to BravoCon, you guys. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. It's a full time job. I want to finish the podcast just talking real quick about Southern Charm, because we're getting into the dirty this season. We're getting into the dirty between Austin, Sheb, Olivia, and Taylor. This episode was heavily focused on Taylor's new business called Day Chaser. By the way, I love it. I am obsessed with it. She sent me a PR box with different flavors. I already drank a bunch of it. Last night I drank the cucumber vodka. It was absolutely delicious. So if you have the chance to either shop in your area for Day Chaser, or maybe check the website. I don't know if they ship or anything like that, but so worth it. It's delicious. It's very summery. It has a very summer vibe. So we are getting into the winter here in Jersey, and so yeah, it's good to have like a little summer moment. I drank it last night while watching the episode, so it was very, very, very on brand. Because they were having an event at Republic that is owned by Leva. For those who don't know, obviously, and by the way, I am obsessed with Leva. Oh my gosh, yes, I wanted to say that. What was up with the 101 Dalmatian code? That's from Mia Carla. It's true. Whoever told Craig to wear that coat, hate him, because that was so bad. That was extremely bad. It looked so cheap. It looked like he bought it at Party City, and it was horrible. I'm happy that the Venita and Madison clocked him. I mean, the coat was horrible. And we don't, I mean, honestly, I love Taylor. I just think that this idea of making uh, a ski theme party was weird to have in Charleston for a drink called Day Chaser that is that in the bottle has like a sun, like a wave, and like it's more like a beach vibe. I would expect more like a beach theme party, like a luau or something like that, you know. Um, I don't know that the theme didn't click with me. Charleston never gets cold enough to like wear that type of coats, you know. Um, I went to Charleston in February. Everybody was freaking wearing like fur coats and like like heavy winter jackets, and I'm like, this is not even that cold for me. Like, if you want cold, come to New Jersey, come to New York, and we will show you cold in the winter. That cold in February was not enough for you to be wearing like a full parka. But honestly, I was very confused with the theme. I was also very confused at the fact that JT is so messy in a good way. This man is so ready to throw Austin under the bus because he knew what to do. You can tell that he was waiting he was salivating for the moment that he was gonna be cast for the show. He was like, I got this. I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna make sure that I expose Austin. Boy can stop talking about, Taylor sleeping over at Austin. And I believe it's because there's also a little jealousy. I think he's very interested on Taylor, but he's just really funny. Like, this man can be like a housewife. Like, he's ready for that. He was made for Bravo shows. He's so messy. I like him. I like JT, but I appreciate Rob. Both of the Robs. Olivia's date Rob and gay Rob. Right. I like them both. I think the more we get to meet them as the season goes, the more we're gonna like them. Especially because Olivia's Rod, um, seems like a really down to earth kind of guy, like the type of guy that we don't see on Southern Charm that often because 90% of the men in like on these shows, like Southern Charm and anything in Charleston, they act like college kid no matter how old they are. So it's good to see like a balance where there is a man that he actually respect women and defend them when other people are talking about him, because he said like, hey, I don't know why he's so mad at Olivia because Austin, was mad or like trying to make me mad because he saw her at share house kissing another guy. I mean, like, why he's trying to like slut shame her? She's single. She can kiss whoever she wants. And I think that is so refreshing, right? Um, I just hope that we get to the bottom of this issue with Taylor and Austin and Olivia and Shep. I don't want this to be a black eye situation where we don't have a resolution. Also, even though they're trying to make this like a scandal moment, it's not gonna hit the same way because, I mean, first of all, we are tired from scandal, like mentally, physically, emotionally tired. B, I don't think people care as much for Southern Charm as they care for Vanderpump Rules, especially for Ariana, who always has been somebody who was very neutral, who was very like that person who like everybody was having issues, but she was trying to be the voice of reason of the group. That's why people like her and were really like devastated when she was going through the whole scandal. I mean, people don't know Taylor that much. People don't know Olivia that much. People hate the boys. I mean, many people dislike Austin and Shep for who they are. Like, they are not. mean, they know it. They know it. They know that they can even keep a women around. So it's not like I'm trashing them. I'm not trashing these people. I actually like them. I like Shep a little more than I like Austin, though. Austin, I'm not a big fan. Shep, he's toxic, but he's also kind of funny, and he has like a very charming personality in person. So I give him a little pass, but not like a free pass, but more like I kind of like whatever. Like this dude, I can handle. Austin, his voice annoys me. His face annoys me. He looked like Big Bird from Sesame Street. So, and I don't see the charm. I don't see why he gets girls. Like, he might have like a fucking 12-inch dick because nothing clicks in my head with this guy. He's not funny. He's not good looking. He is tall. That's all. He's boring. Like, the way that he talks, the way that he acts, he seems like so vanilla and so bland. And like, this guy has no like flavor, no sense of humor. So, also, Shep, like, yeah, Mia just said it. Shep doesn't lie about who he is. He knows who he is, and he he's like, yeah, this is who I am. Period. At least he owns it, and that kind of makes you like understand him a little more because he's not trying to dance around the bushes, right? But Austin is like that he's pretending to be this like good of a person when he is just as bad or worse than Shep. If you look at it, I do believe, I do believe that Austin played Taylor and Olivia, and he didn't care. And I got that sense too, because when a Taylor called Austin to tell him that she spoke to Olivia, he didn't sound like he didn't sound like he was taking the information and be like, okay. I mean, I don't know. Like his reaction seemed annoying. Like, why would you talk to her? Or like he was trying to hide it. I think that that he's using both of them. Like he's trying to be a player. He's trying to play with both, you know? And he wasn't expecting both to talk about it. That's what I think. I think he's starting to feel like he got caught because he wasn't. He probably thought that people were gonna see it like, oh, they're just two friends, right? Maybe they are just two friends, but the way that he's acting is giving me the vibe that there's something happened between them. Might not be all the way sex, but maybe they hooked up, maybe they kiss, whatever. But the way that he's acting is giving the idea that something truly happened, and he wasn't expecting Olivia and Taylor to talk to each other about it, and he got caught. And I think that's what is gonna happen next week. Is they? I mean, it's next week. Shep and Austin are gonna have that conversation. So let's see how that goes. I do know though that when it comes to the boys' club, they're gonna stick together. No matter what, they're gonna stick together. And they might be mad with each other for like a week or two, and then they're gonna go back to be best friends, drinking beers in King Street. That's what's gonna happen. So. Guys, that has been a lot of information for this episode. And like I said before, just because I didn't do my usual 2 episodes a week, I actually like this. I actually like this one episode where we just sit down and have a long ass conversation about Bravo. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And if you like it, you know what to do. You know what I always ask you guys is for simply subscribe to my podcast and share my podcast with your friends. Share my podcast to your friends. Let's bring the listeners up. If you have a bravoholic friend that doesn't know about my podcast, please share it with them. Also, make sure to subscribe and rate. Ratings on my podcast help the podcast to be found by other people while they're searching for Bravo content. Also, if you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm going to make a lot of content during BravoCon. And if you want to catch all that really cool BravoCon content, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, Follow me on Instagram and Twitter as Martini with Eddie. I also have my own website, martiniwitheddie.com, which, by the way, I need to update. I'm really behind on that. But life is lifing with me. Okay, you guys, it's Friday night. I hope you guys are out or in having a little cocktail, a little drink. If you don't drink alcohol, maybe you are drinking a tea or a coffee or a glass of water. Whatever your drink of choice is, I hope you're having it. You're having a good time. Please, please, please go ahead and have a great weekend and take care of yourself. That's very important. You know what I always say, besties, is you only live once, but you gotta make sure that you live in the right way, and you gotta make sure you take care of yourself. Like fillers. No, don't do fillers. Or do fillers if you want to. I'm saying it's like I'm not telling you that you have to do it. Okay, guys. Have a great weekend and say it with me, besties. 1, 2, 3. Bye, besties.